Jim Gaber.
Welcome everyone to High School Challenge. We have more first round action for you today, so let's get started and meet our players right away, shall we? First, from Lake Fenton High School, we have Ryan Krause. Ryan's a freshman. Ryan is part of the Gamers and a Science Olympiad. He hopes to attend Mott and then go on to the University of Pittsburgh, eventually to become a doctor. Next, for Lake Fenton, we have Heather Sipes. Heather's a freshman. She's in band, marching, symphonic, pep, and jazz band. She's a peer tutor and active in the SAD organization there. Hopes to attend Michigan State University and become a veterinarian. Captain of the Lake Fenton team is Crystal Stasek. Crystal is a freshman as well, plays basketball, wrestling, track, quiz bowl, and gamers. And let's see, is interested in broadcasting and journalism after school. Next for Lake Fenton is Timothy Vitris. Tim is Alyssa Vitris. Got to the wrong line there. Alyssa is a freshman as well, interested in drawing, writing stories, and playing clarinet and fife. Is interested in Michigan State University as well and hopes to go on into interior design. Those are our players from Lake Fenton High School. Now let's meet our team from Valley Christian Academy. There we have Ryan Bacon. Ryan's a senior, plays basketball, baseball, soccer, bowling. He enjoys bowl making and lawn bowling, a member of the National Honor Society, and winner of many spelling bee championships. Hopes to attend Central Michigan and go into business and be successful one day. Kyle Mason is a junior at Valley Christian. He plays soccer, basketball, plays in a band called Exit to Nowhere. He is a Quiz Bowl All-Star and MVP in basketball, wants to become a rock star eventually, and has to do with that band, I think. Trent Pollard is the captain of the Valley Christian team. Trent is a senior, enjoys plays in the soccer team, student council, member of the National Honor Society, enjoys painting and playing guitar, undecided right now on college and career path. And rounding out the Valley Christian team is Monty Hoover. Monty's a sophomore, plays soccer, basketball, active in Boy Scouts, an all-A honor roll student every semester, member of the National Honor Society. Hopes to attend West Point Military Academy and go on to a career in the Army and eventually into politics. Those are our players for today's game. Julie Pritchett from Genesee Intermediate School District is our judge for this competition. Dmitry Zavolnitsky is our scorekeeper for today's game. Teams, we're ready to go now. Here are your rules for round one. I'm about to ask you a series of questions worth 10 points apiece. The player buzzing first may answer when I recognize you. If you're correct, your team scores the 10 points. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a shot at the same question. Remember, you may interrupt me at any time I'm asking a question. No point penalties for incorrect answers. However, at that point, I'll repeat the entire question for the other team. Good luck, and here we go. 5 laws adopted by the British Parliament in 1774 limited the geographical and political freedom of the colonists. What did the colonists call them? Crystal, Lake Fenton.
Intolerable Act?
That's correct. Here's your next toss-up. Quote, if you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? End quote. What character speaks these lines in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice? Time's up. It's Shylock. Here's your next toss-up. Iceland's Reykjavik is the northernmost capital in the world. Difficult to get to and difficult to spell. Spell Reykjavik. Crystal, Lake Fenton.
R-A-I-K-V-A-C-T.
That's incorrect. Valley Christian. Valley Christian, Kyle.
R-A-I-J-E-V-E-K.
That's incorrect. I think between the two of you, you had all the letters in there. It's R-E-Y-K-J-A-V-I-K. Okay, here's another toss-up. They get their name from the Latin for a curl of hair. What are these wispy, patchy clouds, the highest flying clouds of all? Alyssa, Lake Fenton?
Cirrus clouds?
Cirrus is correct. He's a war-wounded doctor seeking a roommate when he encounters an eccentric, intense man at a London chemical laboratory. Who first meets Sherlock Holmes in A Study in Scarlet? Heather, Lake Fenton?
Watson?
Watson is correct. Here's your next toss-up. Established in 1920 after World War I, it was dissolved in 1946 after World War II. What was this international body predecessor to the United Nations? Trent Valley.
League of Nations.
League of Nations is correct. It can be produced by increased pressure and decreased temperature acting on a gas. What is this state of matter? Mahdi, Valley Christian?
Plasma.
It's incorrect. You may take it like Fenton. Time's up. A liquid is what I needed. Next toss-up. In this 1998 animated movie, Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Woody Allen, and Sylvester Stallone were the voices of the insects. Kyle, Valley Christian.
Ants.
Ants is correct. The first president to be inaugurated in Washington, D.C., he narrowly defeated Aaron Burr in the election of 1800. Who was our third president? Trent, Valley Christian.
Thomas Jefferson.
That's correct. It's a number which, when multiplied a number of times, produces another number. It's also a solution to the quadratic equation. What is this mathematical term? Ryan, Valley Christian.
X squared.
That's incorrect. You may take it like Fenton. Like Fenton, Heather.
A multiple?
Also incorrect. A root is the number I'm looking for. Here's your next toss-up. In the 17th century, the Japanese held contests for these poems and bet so much that the emperor had to stop them. What are these three-line, Mahdi, Valley Christian?
Haiku.
Haiku is correct. The Rosetta and the Damietta are the two main distributaries of this African waterway. What great river feeds them both? Trent, Valley Christian?
Nile River.
Nile River is correct. It's the branch of chemistry that deals with carbon compounds. What kind of chemistry is it? Mahdi, Valley Christian?
Carbonology.
It's incorrect. You may take a Lake Fenton. Time's up. Organic chemistry is the word I needed. Nebraska is the only United States state whose legislature has only one house. What 10-letter word refers to such a political body? Mahdi, Valley Christian.
Unicameral.
Unicameral is correct. Let's toss up. It monitors the outbreak of all serious illnesses in the United States, from chicken flu, let's see, Trent Valley Christian.
World Health Organization.
That's incorrect. Let's see, Alyssa Lake Fenton.
Center for Disease Control.
That's correct. Your next toss-up. Quote, "Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time." End quote. What object is John Keats contemplating as he begins this famous ode? Time's up. It's a Grecian urn. Here's your next toss-up. In French and Spanish, it's DLMMJVS. In English, it's SMTWTFS. Where will you find these abbreviations? Mahdi, Valley Christian.
Calendar.
On a calendar, that's correct, the days of the week. Next toss-up. It gives a 1 kilogram apple an acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. What is this SI unit of force? Trent Valley Christian.
1 Newton.
1 Newton is correct. On April 21st, 1836, Sam Houston defeated Mexican General Santa Anna, ending the war for Texas independence. At what battle? Alyssa Lake Fenton.
Battle of Alamo.
That's incorrect. Valley Christian. Time's up. San Jacinto is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. In this South American country, Mesopotamia is the region between the Parana and Uruguay rivers. What country is it? Trent, Valley Christian.
Paraguay.
Paraguay is incorrect. Lake Fenton, Crystal.
Brazil.
Argentina is the correct answer. Next toss-up. Britain's Mars explorer reached the red planet on December 26th and disappeared. It was named for the ship that took Darwin to the Galapagos Islands. What was the name? Alyssa, Lake Fenton?
Galileo.
Galileo's incorrect. Valley Christian. Time's up. The Beagle is what I needed, or Beagle 2. Your next toss-up. In 1915, Alfred Wegener proposed this theory to explain why South America and Africa seem to fit together like Trent, Valley Christian.
Continental drift theory.
That's correct. The next toss-up. Depending on how you count them, she loved her husband Robert either 9 or 11 different ways. And we'll never know because that's the bell to end the round. Actually, I was going to be after Elizabeth Barrett Browning on that one. But that does bring us to the end of round 1. We're ready for a lightning round, and as I see behind me, Lake Fenton, you will get the first shot at that. I'm about to give you a choice of 3 categories. Once you've selected, you have 60 seconds to answer up to 10 questions in that category. Remember, you may consult during this round. No need to buzz in. I'll be taking the answers from Crystal, your team captain. If you don't know an answer, you must say pass before I move on. We'll give you 10 points for each correct answer, a 20-point bonus if all 10 are correct. Once your 60 seconds is up, Lake Fenton, Valley Christian, you'll have 30 seconds to answer anything they missed, passed on, or didn't get to, and then we'll repeat the process. Lake Fenton, your choices today are Hollywood history, music appreciation, or living color.
Music appreciation.
Music appreciation. Even if you don't appreciate music, you may appreciate the 10 points you'll earn for correctly answering these questions about music. We begin with number 1, the lowest male voice or a large stringed instrument.
Soprano.
It's incorrect. The lowest female voice.
Pass.
From the Italian for above, this is the highest female voice.
Soprano.
That's correct. The Russian composer of the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy in Swan Lake.
Waltz of the Flowers.
Incorrect. Musical instruments made by Amati and Stradivari family.
Woodwind.
Incorrect. The flute, clarinet, oboe, and saxophone are this kind of instrument.
Woodwind.
That's correct. It's 3 or more notes played simultaneously. C major, for example.
Chord.
That's correct. He composed the Brandenburg Concertos and the Art of the Fugue.
Pass.
The interval from D to F or from G to B.
Scale.
It's incorrect. The Italian word for softly, or an instrument with 88 keys. Time's up. You got through that. I read the 10th one there. You got 3 correct for 30 points. And now Valley Christian will reset at 30 seconds. From the top, the lowest male voice or a large string.
Bass.
That's correct. The lowest female.
Alto.
That's correct.
Tchaikovsky.
That's correct. Musical
Violin.
That's correct. He composed the Brandenburg Concertos and the Art of the Fugue.
Pass.
The interval from D to F or G to B.
Octave.
That's incorrect. The Italian word for softly or an instrument with 88 keys.
Piano.
That's correct. Okay, you got to the ones missed, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct. The Brandenburg Concertos were and Art of the Fugue were composed by Bach, and the interval from D to F or G to B is a third. And now, Valley Christian, you may select between Hollywood history or living color.
Hollywood history.
Okay, the title of each of the following movies is the name of a historical figure. So I'll describe the movie, and the answer will be a historical figure. We begin with number 1. Will Smith as the young Cassius Clay and the older boxer, too.
Muhammad Ali.
That's correct. Judy Kuhn sang Colors of the Wind for This Indian Princess.
Pocahontas.
That's correct. Elizabeth Taylor played this Queen of Egypt in 1963.
Cleopatra.
That's correct. Denzel Washington in Spike Lee's film based on Alex Haley's biography.
Oh, the Hurricane.
Incorrect. Anthony Hopkins played this disgraced U.S. president.
Richard Nixon.
That's correct. Salma Hayek was Oscar nominated for playing this artist, wife of Diego Rivera.
Frida Kahlo.
That's correct. Tom Hulce played the Australian musician with this famous middle name.
Pass.
Ben Kingsley won an Academy Award as India's...
Gandhi.
That's correct. Peter O'Toole played this hero of the desert in 1962, his first leading role.
Sir Lawrence of Arabia.
That's correct. George C. Scott won an Oscar for playing this World War II general.
Eisenhower.
It's incorrect. And that's all 10. 7 are correct for 70 points. We'll reset our clock at 30, and now Lake Fenton will turn these over to you. First, Denzel Washington in Spike Lee's film based on Alex Haley's biography.
Remember the Titans?
It's incorrect. Tom Hulse played the Austrian musician made this famous with this famous middle name.
Pass.
And George C. Scott won an Oscar for playing this World War II general.
Schneider? Schindler.
That's incorrect. Good try. Both teams knew Denzel Washington's movies. Unfortunately, I didn't know the right one. It was Malcolm X. And Tom Hulse played Mozart, and the middle name was Amadeus. And George C. Scott played Patton. And with that, we come to the end of round 2, our lightning round. We have a lot of points to total up. So let's take a break. First, I'd like you to meet some folks from Lake Fenton High School. Lake Fenton is coached by Alice Brisley and Vince Cicelo. And we welcome them to High School Challenge. And at this point, we're going to take a little break and come back for some extra credit in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. We're just about ready for some extra credit on this edition of High School Challenge. First, let's meet some folks from Valley Christian Academy. I'd like you to meet Coach Susan Griffin, along with alternates today, Jennifer Johnson, Nate Scripter, Kevin Stillwell, Ryan Mason, Nina Markle, Tyler Ward, and Grant McClure. We welcome all of you, and we welcome you back for this third round of High School Challenge. Teams, remember, in this round, the rules are the same as round 1. The difference here is that the correct answer to a toss-up will earn you not only 10 points, but also the chance at 10 points worth of extra credit for your team. Remember, on extra credit questions, you may consult. I'll take the captain's answers on those, but I remind you to consult on extra credit only and not on the toss-ups. When the bell sounds at the end of the game, if I'm in the middle of a toss-up extra credit cycle, we play all the way through it before the game is officially over. Good luck with your first toss-up. In grammar, it's a punctuation mark. In mathematics, it's a factorial sign. What is this exciting symbol? Alyssa Lake Fenton? That's correct. Lake Fenton, he wrote 4 quartets, but he wasn't a composer. He wrote Murder in the Cathedral, but he wasn't a mystery writer. Who was this 20th century British poet, winner of the 1948 Nobel Prize?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Incorrect. T.S. Eliot is what I needed. Here's your next toss-up. Of barium, bismuth, boron, and bromine, which has the symbol B? Alyssa Lake Fenton?
Boron?
Boron is correct. Lake Fenton, to discredit a rival, a Roman would publish a little book listing his opponent's faults. The Latin for little book has become the legal term for defamation of character. What's the term? Time's up. Libel. L-I-B-E-L. Here's your next toss-up. Its deepest point is the Java Trench, more than 4 miles below sea level. Which ocean is it? Crystal Lake Fenton?
Atlantic?
Atlantic's incorrect. Valley Christian Trent.
Pacific Ocean.
Indian Ocean is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. In the original Grimm Brothers story, her name is Rosamund. In the Disney film, she's Princess Aurora. Who is this dozing damsel? Let's see, Alyssa Lake Fenton?
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty is correct. Lake Fenton, Verdi told her story in 1871. Elton John did it in 1998. Who is this Egyptian princess, the subject of such different musical works?
Cleopatra?
It's incorrect. Aida is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. They include androsterone, estrogen, and testosterone. What are these lipid molecules? Trent, Valley Christian.
Hormone?
It's incorrect. They include androsterone, estrogen, and testosterone. What are these lipid molecules used illegally by many athletes? Alyssa Lake Fenton?
Steroids?
Steroids is correct. Lake Fenton, a giant broken statue of Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II was Shelley's inspiration for this poem. What does Shelley call Ramses in his poem?
God.
It's incorrect. Ozymandias is the correct answer. We'll go to another toss-up. You've just taken the ferry from Cape Breton Island across the Cabot Strait. To what Canadian province are you traveling? Is it Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, or New Brunswick? Alyssa Lake Fenton?
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia is incorrect. Valley Christian, Monty?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland is correct. Valley Christian, in Moscow, it was January 22nd, 1905. In Londonderry, Northern Ireland, it was January 30th, 1972. What nickname has been given to these two historic days?
Bloody Sunday?
That's correct. Your next toss-up. One of their goals, they said, was to protect the black community of Oakland, California from police brutality. What radical political group was founded in 1966? Trent, Valley Christian.
The Black Panthers?
Black Panthers is correct. Valley Christian, the palace stood in London from 1851 to 1936. The cathedral stands in Garden Grove, California, as the home of the televised Hour of Power. What adjective describes both buildings?
Crystal?
Crystal is correct. And that's Valley. You had to think for a minute there. Okay, here's your next toss-up. Automotively, it's the second... Let me start again. Automotively, it's the smallest model of Saturn cars. Chemically, it's an atom. Let's see, Marty, Valley Christian.
Ion.
Ion is correct. Valley Christian, pines, evergreens, and other conifers are trees that pollinate with naked seeds. What class of plants gets its name from the Greek for naked seeds?
Conifers?
Conifers incorrect. Gymnosperms is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. If you were singing, you might perform a duet. What would you be doing if you were performing a pas de deux? Heather Lake Fenton.
A quartet.
Quartet is incorrect. Valley Christian. Valley Christian, Monty.
Dancing.
Dancing is correct. Valley Christian, in September 2003, the RIAA sued 261 people, including a 12-year-old girl, who had each downloaded more than 1,000 copyrighted songs from the internet swapping sites. What is RIAA?
Recording Industry Association of America?
That's correct. And we won't ask how you know that. We'll go on to the next question. Muslims consider him the ancestor of the Arabs through his son Ishmael. Who is this biblical patriarch, father of Isaac? Ryan, Valley Christian?
Abraham?
Abraham is correct. Valley Christian, many of the ideas in our Declaration of Independence can be found in his essay concerning human understanding. Who was this 17th century English philosopher?
John Locke?
John Locke is correct. Next toss-up, teams. You'll find one on the back of a quarter. There's another one landing on the moon on the back of a Susan Ryan, Valley Christian.
Eagle?
An eagle is correct. Valley Christian, if you err in answering this question, we'll forgive you. After all, to err is human, to forgive divine. What poet said so in his essay on criticism?
Thoreau.
Thoreau's incorrect. Alexander Pope is the answer. Here's your next toss-up. If I go forward, he said, follow me. If I yield, kill me. If I die, avenge me. He was finally killed by his followers to avenge those he had led to ruin. Who was this Italian duce? Time's up. Benito Mussolini is the correct answer. And there's our bell. We are at the end of our game, a very well-played game indeed. Congratulations to Valley Christian Academy for moving on to the next round of High School Challenge. And to you, Lake Fenton, congratulations to you for a team of freshmen. You showed up very, very well, and we're sure you're going to be back for many years to come here in High School Challenge. We're going to be back very soon. Until then, I'm Jim Gaber. Have a good day. High School Challenge is a co-production of Michigan Television and the Genesee Intermediate School District.